Hi guys, we're back after a 2-week break for some traveling that has happened. I had to go all across this stupid state, and Joe actually got to go on vacation. So, ask which one who had a better time.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to guess. Anyways, we're still playing some Chrono Trigger. We're doing some final side questing. That's Joe. I'm Titus. It's time for a nap. Let me be honest. It's
Yeah, that was what my Saturday and Sunday were. Not my Saturday.
I had an annoying as fuck day. So like, was it last week or week before? Week before last. So 2 weeks ago. Right in the middle of working, our whole building, 14 floors, whole building lost internet. Entire fucking thing. Which was frustrating because it was like 4 hours of work that we didn't do. And we got told we got sent home basically. Be like, hey, go work at home to see if the VPN works. If your VPN works, just work from home.
Yep.
It did. And then today, I was basically off and on between meetings from 8:30 in the morning to 3:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I would sit in a Teams call, and every about 10 to 15 minutes, it would disconnect for a second. Try to reconnect for about 30 to 45 seconds, reconnect, go for the meeting, and it would just keep doing that. So I was just getting very irritated, and I eventually was like, fuck this, I'm gonna go home, finish my workday from home so I can take my final meeting that I'm supposed to be in. So did that, and it's just like, it just put such an annoyance in my fucking mouth. It's so frustrating. It's like, come on, get your shit together.
Yeah, we've had a few years ago. We had a few days where it was, just internet shit.
Oh yeah, I forget if you go back here, he's still working.
He's still there because that's where he is in time. Yeah.
I can't remember.
We need to go to where Medina Village is, but in the past it should be called Ozzy's Fort. It should be to the east continent.
Way over there. Yep. Way over there.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm in a mood, and I've just been. It's been a time.
For Ozzy's Fort.
Couple that with some just work things in general, and it's just. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I guess
What's this place? Oh, that's Giant's. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
For Ozzy's Fort.
Right there.
Yeah, okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna be sniffly. So yeah, as a warning, I have some post-travel sniffles. Unclear if I caught something, which I don't think I did, because Jaden's fine. Or if it's just some sort of weird combination of allergies and then getting on a plane.
What the fuck?
So I'm sniffly.
Why is my headset? I just charged it.
Oh, you gotta be wired tonight?
Yeah, which means I gotta switch my controller.
Oh.
I'm wondering if my headset isn't charging anymore, maybe? I don't know. It shouldn't be the case. But this seems to happen. Or maybe I have a bad cord. Maybe my cord's bad. And I just
can't
lost
hear
all
you.
fucking sound too. There we go. Okay.
Oh, that's... Now I'm just getting a high-pitched whine? Definitely cannot hear you. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up on stream.
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you. And the high-pitched whine is gone.
Yeah, I just switched microphones.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
I'm just gonna use stream mic tonight.
Okay, that's fine.
But I think I don't know if maybe my cord is bad or something, because I swear I just charged. Maybe we should use the pink controller.
Me.
I like the pink controller. I can use my white. Okay. All right. I love technical. Oh, cool.
You crash it, or
no? It crashed. It crashed.
It probably didn't like you switching all your inputs.
I love it. This is the day I've had.
Yeah.
I just. All right, frame rate's going well too. Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Well, let's see. Well, I can talk about my vacation for a hot minute because it was fun, and also we just did a shit ton.
So it's just
Make sure your party's what you want it to be too.
Yeah, let's change it.
I don't think that will have saved.
It did actually. Interestingly enough. Fascinating.
Weird.
Out of everything, that's what's saved.
The main thing is you're gonna want to steal in the big triple fight. Supposedly, there's gonna be a couple solo fights. Supposedly, you can't charm anything during those fights, but in the big fight with all three baddies, you can charm stuff from each person. So, be ready to do that, and make sure that Ayla has the charm item.
The alluring top.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, so my vacation / it was me and husband Jaden. We went to Washington D.C., which I had been to once back, like my freshman year of high school, for just a real quick, like 3 days. It was real fast, and then and Jaden had never been. Oh, that was fast. It did specifically say that these fights would be stupid fast. And then, so yeah, we went to DC. We flew out Sunday, flew back Saturday. Sunday we landed at like noon, and we just we got into the hotel. Oh, here was the funny thing about the hotel. So the hotel we were at had like a big, it's like a big building in the city, and it was just like a big hollow atrium. Right, so rather than your like classic Holiday Inn, right, where you've just got a hallway with rooms on either side or whatever, this was like a big hollow atrium, and so there were rooms looking out into the city, and then rooms looking into the atrium, basically.
Kind of cool.
And this was it's like a 10-story building. And what was interesting was when you could book the hotel, you could book like which side of the building you were on, like if you wanted to be looking at all the monuments or if you wanted to be looking at the city, and there were some slight price differences based on demand and stuff. And the only thing I remember booking is I remember booking like high floor looking at the city or something like that. When we got there, we ended up landing at noon, and check-in wasn't till 4, so we were like, I don't know if they're going to have a room ready, we'll have to figure out. And they were like, oh, well, we don't have the specific type of room you have. We have an atrium room. And we were like, yeah, I think we can live with that. That's not a big deal. And they were like, that'll be $5 more a night. Is that okay? And I was like, it's $5 more to look into the atrium? And we were confused. And she's like, those rooms are quieter. And I was like, what? We were like, sure, whatever. We just wanted to get in our room. We just didn't care. We were just whatever. But it was just really weird. I was like, why is it more to look in the... It just made no sense.
No, because the other ones are maybe
the city side. It's city and sirens and stuff like that. Is my only thought. But I don't know. I found that odd. Anyways, we threw our stuff in our hotel room. Not de-stress. Just chilled for
Decompressed.
Decompress. Thank you. Decompress for a few minutes. While we just wanted to chill before we went, and then we went on a walk, and we walked around the National Mall and saw a bunch of the monuments and stuff. Which, first off, I forgot how far apart all of them were.
The National Monuments?
Yeah, the big ones. They are, the National Mall is like essentially a really large park with museums and stuff in it. But I just completely forgot how far apart all this stuff was. That day, I think we clocked in that we walked somewhere around like 9 miles.
A lot of miles.
But number one, cherry blossoms were in bloom. They weren't all pink. They were actually white right now, which I didn't know was a thing, but they were beautifully bloomed and they were all over the place. But yeah, we like walked from the hotel, which was like a mile away from the mall, and we walked to the Washington Monument. Then we walked down to the Jefferson Memorial, and then we walked to the Lincoln Memorial, and then we walked back to our hotel.
Which pants?
Yes. Okay. And yeah, you gotta steal from everybody. I believe the Aussie pants are like the best headset you can get in the game. But no, so the cherry blossoms were really cool, and Titus, did you actually have a chance to look at like any of the photos I put in Skype earlier today?
I looked at the history museum once.
Okay. Then no, that's fine. That's why I put them in groups, so that you didn't have to look at all of them. But I'll put a picture here. Also though, it was so unbelievably crowded that Sunday.
Really?
I'll throw this into screen chat.
I didn't think they would be that crowded, but I guess...
People... So, number one, just it's a touristy area, lots of tourists.
Yeah.
But there were also quite a few people who just wanted pictures of, like, Instagram influencer stuff. They were trying to get their picture in front of, a good picture of them in front of the cherry blossoms.
I'll be honest, I'm glad we don't live in a state like that, where that shit happens all the time.
I just took pictures when things were kind of calm and chill. Like, I just didn't worry about it too much. And I didn't worry about people being in the background. I didn't try to get the perfect picture. I just was like, let's take some fun pictures. I did actually get a really good close-up picture of the actual blossoms themselves, which was cool. And it turned out really good, just like as a really quick stop and shoot. But yeah, no, so Washington Monument, Jefferson Memorial. The other thing was the Jefferson Memorial and the Lincoln Memorial both were having like renovations done, which was fine. Like, we still could go in them and stuff. It just was just like slightly complicated things. It didn't look quite as good from the outside or whatever. But yeah, and so we did that, and it was great. I got a little bit of a sunburn that day from walking around because we did not bring any sunscreen. I assume you stole all 3 things?
I'm pretty sure.
It's not a huge deal. It's not like you won't be able to beat the game without them.
I got the pants, and I stole from the other girl. I just haven't seen if I've stolen them from Slash, but it doesn't matter because I'm not able to attack.
It's the Super Slash... Sorry, no. The Slasher 2, the Aussie... These are going to be translated differently. There's a sword, there's the pants, and there's the Flea Bustier. It's a vest.
I believe I've gotten everything because he didn't give me anything that time.
That's fine. Yeah, you're fine then. And you're gonna fight Ozzy again, and you can get a second pair of Ozzy pants.
These guys attack so frequently.
It seems like they really are just like able to do the triple tech, and it kind of wants you to just focus one of them down. But you've been doing AoE, so they're just constantly doing their big triple tech or something.
Well, I've hit them like several times. I've hit Ozzy a couple times.
They should be dead really soon, but yes. Okay, so we did all that walking, and then we were so tired that we were like in the hotel in the elevator on the way up to our room the first time. We were like, oh, there was a little banner for like the hotel restaurant, and we were like, oh, you know what? We should check out we should see what that's about. And we were like, this will be the easy night. We'll phone it in. We'll just eat hotel restaurant dinner.
Yeah, hotel bar or whatever it is.
Right. Well, it was nice. It was called Cure, and it was advertised as a Japanese French fusion restaurant.
Fucking excuse me.
Which, on one hand, sounds very cool.
On the other hand,
the bummer was that it really was just they had like sushi, and then they also had French food. They didn't have any fusion stuff that we could readily identify. It was just they had like a ton of different sushi options, which we made sure to get because we were like by the ocean, so it was a lot better. Like our sushi here, look, they're doing what they can and they do great work, but the fish was dramatically fresher and better.
I don't understand why we went for the prismatic helm when we're getting better equipment.
Well, it's because the prismatic helm is like no status effects, right?
No. Oh yeah. Okay.
It's like no, yeah.
That was pretty good. What is the question mark? What does it do? I did get the slasher too.
Sorry, you don't need to hear me sneeze. The Aussie pants. Do really good defense, but you start battle with the chaos status.
What is that?
I think that's like the confusion.
Weird. Oh, but wait.
So it's like it's really good defense if you just need.
But you can just do it. Can't you just do it with the?
It actually explicitly says you're not allowed to combine.
What do you mean?
This guide says explicitly you cannot also equip an item that prevents chaos, and it won't work.
Oh.
It either won't let you equip it, or you just will be chaos anyways. Technically, you only start the battle with it. It will wear off, or it can be cured in battle. But yeah, it is otherwise the best defense, highest defense by number item in the game.
Okay.
But and you can get a second set if you
from him right here.
Yeah. And this is the whole quest, by the way. It's just this.
Yep.
And then we start on endgame, I guess. Okay, but yeah, so we went to that restaurant, and we had some incredible drinks. I had, like, I don't know, it was just really crazy stuff. Then we got it was like a spinach artichoke dip, but it was different. It was like what was it? It was very good.
Oh no.
And then for dinner we each had some sushi, and then we got dessert, and it was this it was just like raspberry mousse or whatever was what it was branded as, or like that's what the menu said. Oh, it was spinach artichoke like crab dip. So it was like a very yeah, so it was like crab and cheese and spinach and like hot. It was very good. But no, this was our dessert. I'll show you the picture. That it was like a mousse on top of ladyfingers with like a raspberry swirl, a crenelle is what they call that, of like mascarpone cheese, and then the twig is made of chocolate, and then like a raspberry, and then like a printed chocolate. It was very fancy.
Seems fancy.
But it was very good, and it was just like a really good dessert. We didn't feel too bad about spending some money on food because all we were doing otherwise was going to museums, and the Smithsonian's are all free.
Yeah, they are.
So like the only money we spent on that trip were airfare, plane, souvenirs, food, and like
the hotel.
And a couple Uber rides, yeah, and hotel if I didn't say that, and a couple of Uber rides.
Is that it? Is that all we needed from here?
Did you kill Ozzy the second time?
He fell down the hole.
I think you gotta follow him down the hole.
I'll try. I'll try again.
It says there's a second fight. did you battle him and it was just super fast?
Yeah, he turned into ice and then he made me go in a hole and then.
Okay.
What's Do I get Magnus's weapon?
It says this will drop you back to the previous room.
Yep.
So head back to Ozzy's room and he will be defeated by a cat.
Yep.
So maybe you do just have to leave.
That happened already.
That happened already. Oh. Yep. If you go to the present day, 1000 AD, you get... I think that's where you get your item or whatever.
Oh, okay. We gotta go to the future.
So yeah, you basically did the quest. You only gotta go to the present.
Well, yeah. Future from here, present in the game. Present.
Well, no.
Well, it's now a house.
Well, there's like a different... There was always a... it's Medina Square is different. There's no statue of Ozzy anymore. I thought there was something about a cool weapon for him. Did you already get it?
I don't think so. Oh. All I have is the Hadean sickle. Okay,
so... Oh, there's a hidden room, so we need to go back to the fort.
Oh.
We missed it. So... This is the room after the 2 solo fights, but before the trio fight. And it said something about a hidden room in the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Okay. Alright. And there's also a magic tab.
Yep, all 3 things.
And there's a magic tab.
Doom. Gloom.
Oh yeah, that one gets better when people are dead.
See, but the prismatic helm's bad because like everything else like already prevents status elements.
Well, yes, but the gloom helm I think can only be worn by him. Or maybe...
Right, but there's still 3 other... There's still 1 other one in there plus an armor.
Yeah... But the other option was another item we also literally had, though. Wasn't it another, like, platinum vest or 8?
No,
you know?
It's a rainbow vest, or prismatic vest, which is her best dress. It's her best armor.
Well, alas. So you did the cape, the helm.
Yep, and the cycle. A little sickle.
Magic tab. Magic tab.
There it is.
Okay, now I guess it's time to
go on the ship.
I guess it's time to do the Black Omen. Like, as far as I can tell.
Go on the ship. Steal some speed tabs.
Yes, we do need to do a bunch of stealing here. So, at this point, bring whatever party you want for the end game. Not that we won't have an opportunity to change. I don't think we're beating the game tonight, though. Unless we do? That'd be very funny if we did. You don't want to... I think you want to just go to the Black Omen.
I don't know if it matters what time period you're in. I don't think it does. Take Chrono out for a little bit.
Oh. This says... You can ram the Epoch into Lavos, or use the bucket, but that'll just activate New Game Plus, if you beat the Black Omen the regular way. You can visit 2300 AD, and also apparently we can fight through the fortress 3 times.
You do it in each different...
Yeah. So if you go to 2300, you'll see like a message. If you go, I think if you go to the Black Omen, you should probably save before you do that. Because in 2300 he's already won.
Save. Has already drained the life force from this planet. So yeah, she's already said that it's basically already dead.
Yes.
But then we can fight through the fortress, get the speed tabs.
It says you can fight through the fortress in 1,000, 600, and 12,000. In that order is what it wants you to do.
Oh, you can't do 23?
Because if you go forward in time, it's the same thing with the chests. If you defeat an enemy in the past, it's gone in the future. But if you go from the future first and go backwards, you can.
So you can't do 23 then.
23
12.
Apparently doesn't have it. It says, I think maybe you
because
do this fight
he's already. Won.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like do this fight and then the door. I think maybe just stays closed.
Well,
Marley needed TP or whatever, right?
Nobody needs it.
Oh, I thought Marley had like a little bit left.
It's firmly shut.
Okay, yeah. So now go to 1,000.
The person who really is Magus needs it. Magus needs it.
You only have to fight the bosses once though. So those don't like count.
So we gotta go to present, then Middle Ages, then prehistory, then
12,000.
12,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Present first.
If you want, obviously, if you don't want to do the Black Omen 3 times.
Speed tab. Good.
Yeah. All of the bosses here are going to have charmables, and some of them have different. The bosses have like a top and a bottom or whatever. So you might have to charm from both.
Have you not learned your lesson? But in a mere 999 years, he will emerge to rain destruction upon the earth, crown himself as king. So I'm hoping the math changes every time.
Okay. Yes, the big thing is later on there will be panels, and panels have speed tabs.
Oh, shoot.
And they may be called something different, but... Yes, like there's a top and a bottom, both pieces are going to have a charmable. Okay, so... I'm going to blow my nose again, and then continue my description of my vacation. Ugh, very tired of this. Okay, so, we went to bed, and then the next day was the Natural History Museum, Smithsonian. So they had, they had a ton of exhibits. So the funny thing is they have, on the first floor, they have, like, it's like the birds of Washington, D.C., and it's just like a bunch of taxidermied birds that are all like local to the area, or they migrate through the area or whatever. And it's neat. But it's the only thing on the first floor, which is like where you enter, and otherwise all the interesting stuff's upstairs. So Jaden was wanting to make sure we did everything, but like basically we started doing the birds thing. And look, I love good like taxidermy and natural history museums. We just were spending a really long time because Jaden just didn't really understand what all was waiting for us, which is fine. But we took like 45 minutes or 30 minutes to look at all the birds or whatever, and then finally we go upstairs and there's the giant rotunda and there's all this stuff, and he's like, oh, like this is so
humongous.
Yeah. So number one, cool. But yeah, then we went upstairs, and then so the first thing we did was they're just like classic like fossils and shit. It's like dinosaurs, and they have some remakes, but a lot of legitimate fossils, right? Like with every like fossil skeleton, there's almost always going to be some parts of it that are like cast. to fill in missing bones or pieces of broken bones. And they have a few skeletons for the exhibit where like maybe the whole thing is a cast, but most of them were just real, or like mostly real. But that was super cool. They just had a ton of stuff. They had there was an ocean exhibit, which was fine. I'll admit it wasn't my favorite exhibit. It was just ocean stuff, but just, I don't know, something about it.
Just a bunch of ocean stuff?
Well, it's just like, there weren't as many fossils, there weren't as many, it was like a lot of infographic type stuff. And models of a few things, but less, well, like, not really any taxidermy, not very many fossils, and not a lot of, like, not like any living stuff, really. So it was just a bunch of information about the oceans presented in a fun way, but like, I don't know, just, it was fine. Still cool.
Well, then there was a cup of Joe.
Yeah, then there was the Hall of Mammals, which was like just a bunch of taxidermied animals.
Just a bunch of mammals.
Divided up by like where in the world they were from, right? So there's like an Africa section, an Australia section. They're like, here's a kangaroo and a wallaby and a koala and a whatever. And then here are like a bunch of Africa. So they got a lion, and they got a water buffalo, and they got a couple kinds of antelopes and whatever. And then an Asia section and so on. And that was cool. Again, there's not really a ton to say about it, but it was very cool, right? There's just tons of interesting animals, little tidbits about all of them, some really good / fun taxidermy, just cool stuff. There was an insect zoo, which was cool, though it was a little bit small. Like, they had live insects in there. There wasn't a ton, but it was very neat. They had, various tarantulas, scorpions, ants, other kinds of bugs, beetles, that kind of thing. And then a bunch of, like, again, those, like, taxidermy pinups that you see of bugs. They had, like, a whole wall of just moths, stuff like that. That was cool. There was
different definitions of cool, but that's fine.
It's cool. Like,
yeah.
And you can get right up in there and look at them.
A bug.
But yeah, that was neat. And then there was a cell phone exhibit, which is the one that I was like fully prepared to skip, because I didn't think it would be that interesting. But it was like basically how cell phones influence the world and change the world, and then like how cell phones are made, and like what goes into a cell phone, and all sorts of stuff. So they had a big wall of like before cell phones and then after cell phones, and the before cell phone was like all the things that a cell phone can do that back in the day you would have had to have a separate thing for. So it's like this picture, the wall of like stuff they had, it was like takeout menus, dictionaries, newspapers, games, movies, shows, translation guides, microscopes, cameras, iPods, more game stuff, camera stuff. They have like a Metro card and like money for like Venmo type stuff, and scheduling devices. Like there's an old BlackBerry on there, all sorts, and then like a fax machine and an old laptop and an old computer and all this stuff, which was just really cool to see all this stuff there. And then on the after side, it was things that came after cell phones. So like emojis or selfies, or just like various concepts of things which cell phones sort of caused to happen or were pivotal in happening, which was cool. One interesting thing is the walls were covered in like comics.
Oh, that's fun.
Like educational comics, and they had this one which was like about how, and you'll have to zoom in on the picture to read it on the one I posted on Discord. It's not the best quality picture, but basically like the one example they gave here was, it was like, people say that cell phones are going to cause, or smartphones are going to cause people to be lazy or dumb, or we're going to rely on the technology too much or whatever. But fun fact, people used to say the same thing about a bunch of other technologies. And they had like quotes from different people throughout time about similar attitudes towards new developments, like Socrates like thinking that written language would cause people to be forgetful, or people thinking that books would cause people to be lazy, or that telephones would cause like people to not have social skills because of no face-to-face talking, or comic books would cause kids to be violent or whatever, and TV and so on and so forth. And so like that was a really fun one. They had another comic about like doom scrolling and feeling anxious about things. And then they had another one that was like about basically like social justice and social justice adjacent stuff, of like, what does it mean to share like videos of violent things happening, and like, are you sharing it because it's good? Are you sharing it because people need to see it? Are you sharing it for shock factor, etc., right? And talking about
what's the reasoning behind it,
right? And like, is it good or is it bad? And like, it depends on the reason, stuff like that, which was really cool. The one thing that my husband picked up on was there was a big section about like how there was like all the different elements, like material elements go into a cell phone, and then a bunch of stuff about mining. And it was surprisingly, let's just say, neutral about mining. Like, it didn't not address the problems that mining can cause, but it did seem to have a pretty strong focus on, like, it was focused on the people, and a lot of communities in various areas do depend on
mining,
like, local mining and like jobs.
Yep.
But also like those people aren't always paid fairly, and like it seemed like
not for the work that they do.
Kind of glossed over some of that. Like, it talked about it, but it was pretty positive.
Mine, good.
It's kind of inherently not great, you know? But whatever. It was still mostly a good exhibit. I still really liked it. And it was the biggest surprise probably of the whole trip for me. I was fully expecting to write that off and be like, oh, this is something for kids or something. Like, this just isn't going to be for me. But I found it really interesting.
I think our generation would probably be the ones who could find the most useful out of it, because we were around before cell phones and after.
Right. And it was like, that was sort of what it was geared at, was like Gen Z and the people who maybe didn't realize exactly how the world was before cell phones, you know?
Another golden earring?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wait, no, it's the gold stud that's supposed to be good.
That one's also good, but yeah, you're looking, like I said, it's called Panel or something like Panel. That's the old translation. I don't know what the new ones are called, but they have the speed tabs. And then the last big exhibit, if I'm not forgetting anything, and I'm looking through my pictures, was like a Rocks and Minerals one.
Oh yeah, dude.
With the centerpiece being the Hope Diamond, which they've had at the Smithsonian for a really long time. But like, number one, you can go see the Hope Diamond. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
And then number two is they have just like an entire, like this, it was getting close to the end of the day, because we saw everything in the museum in one day, which was just a lot. It was like, we weren't rushed per se, a little bit towards the end, but like, it was a lot of things to do in a day. But they just had like just really interesting specimens of like every rock or mineral that you could imagine. I'll show a few in here. Like, they also had, like, next to the Hope Diamond, they had, like, the largest single piece of quartz in the world. They had a fun cabinet of a bunch of different radioactive elements, which was neat. Radioactive minerals. But, like, okay, I'm going to show a picture here of, like, here's a display case with a bunch of rocks, a bunch of different minerals, and this one is, like, is this one, like, malachite? There's a bunch of different kinds of malachite. And they had probably somewhere between 50 and 70 cases like that.
Holy shit.
Of just, like, here's a bunch of specimens.
Here's a bunch of just rock.
Like they had one that's like, here's a bunch of rocks of different colors. Here's a bunch of rocks with different crystal shapes. Here's a bunch of rocks that are all blue. Here's a bunch of rocks that are different kinds of the same thing, but they all look different. And then here's one that's like, here's just a bunch of, here's all a bunch of different kinds of diamonds. There's a bunch of different kinds of emeralds. Then you get past all that, and then you get into the metal section, and they're like, here's a bunch of gold, here's a bunch of silver, here's a bunch of copper, like big stuff like that. And then they have some space rocks, so they have some like meteorites, and they had some pieces of the moon and stuff like that. So just a crazy exhibit. And that was the first day I bought stuff. So Jaden, for his souvenirs, he bought a bunch of clothes. He bought a bunch of shirts and mostly like shirts and like a sweater or two. Mm-hmm. I just bought enamel pins because I love pins. And my thought was, I'm going to make a little pin box because I have the stuff to do one more, and I'm going to make a pin box of all the stuff from this trip. So I will show you the little dinosaur ones I got first.
Little dino guys.
Let's see, did I just get 3? Oh yeah. So I got, I'll do the like jewelry or makeup tutorial thing where I make sure it focuses on the thing. So, oh wait, no, that's the very first one I showed you the wrong fucking one.
It's Saturn. You look like.
Well, it was a planet. So I had this little dinosaur and an egg.
Oh, he's so cute.
And then I got
he's just a little guy.
A Stegosaurus.
I am a Stegosaurus.
And then a Brontosaurus. Or a Apatosaurus or whatever. And then I got my one keychain, which I need to put on my keys. But I got this keychain, which I'm pretty sure this is like a web comic.
I like him.
It's Foodie, and he's taking a picture of a dinosaur he's eating.
Well, that's a little fucked up.
I like it. It's so stupid, but I love it. So yeah, this guy, I saw this. I'm pretty sure I've seen this art online before in the past. And he must have partnered, or the artist must have partnered with the Smithsonian, because I saw there were other ones in a few other museums. Like he had a space one that was in the Air and Space Museum and stuff. But I really like that keychain. So then that night, dinner was simple. We just went to there was like a noodle bar down the street, like a traditional
a stir fry place, or like chow mein, lo mein type?
Like a ramen, it was just like a little tiny, like they had a bar and like 10 tables, like the kind of thing you'd see, in an anime. The character goes somewhere for dinner. And it's
okay.
Like a tiny little place,
I'm with you.
A little bar, and they had some noodles and soups and stuff.
Was it awesome?
It was very good. I have a picture of that too, because we took pictures of all our food, because of course we did.
I mean, we're millennials.
Yeah, but like we're on vacation, may as well.
Oh, that picture, yeah, I thought that was ramen.
Yeah. Technically it was just like roast pork with egg noodles and wontons. Like it wasn't specific. And then Jaden had like Hong Kong style stir fried duck noodles. And it was good, and it was not that expensive. First meal, expensive. This one, not that bad. Okay, next day. We actually had a friend in DC that was part of the reason we went, and so we met up with him, and we went to the Botanical Gardens, which is also a Smithsonian thing, and the zoo, the Smithsonian Zoo.
Yeah, I got pictures from the zoo.
The Botanical Gardens, did you see that?
Did I see the Botanical Gardens? I don't know if I did look at them. No, I did not see those.
Very cool. They had lots of different rooms of different types. I'll tell you what, that room, very humid. If you recall the Omaha Zoo, that giant building, it was kind of like that in that room. But they had like a desert room, and they had like a flower, they had a medicinal plants room. They had all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah, I sent you pictures from the zoo, because I was like, I'll send a picture of every big cat I see, which they just didn't have a ton of.
I like the big cats. Oh, this key.
But yeah, no, so Botanical Gardens were great. then the zoo was great. There's just lots of picture animals. The only bummer was we found out that I had heard about this, but I didn't know the state of it, which is that China is taking back all its pandas right now. Because all pandas in the world are owned by China in any zoo anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yes, including any cubs born. They're all owned by China, and they are on lease to different zoos in different countries. And they are taking back all the ones in the U.S., which they had some in D.C., and they're gone.
I wonder what the logistics of shipping a panda back home is.
They had a whole article about it because they were sent back in November. They had like a whole custom jet that was just for them to like move them back to China and all sorts of stuff. But that was a bummer. And they still had like the Panda Shop and Panda Plaza and Panda whatever, and like they're gonna have to rebrand all that stuff because they gotta figure out what the hell they're gonna put there because they're not gonna be pandas anymore. The coolest part though is they had an Amazonia like house that had like electric eels and piranhas and tons of different like poison dart frogs and stuff like that, which was super cool. And then we had Korean barbecue for dinner, which was very, very good. The Korean barbecue was outstanding. Oh, excuse me.
Damn it, I did all damage to that thing. That looks great. Holy shit.
It was like an all-you-can-eat for like $33 a person, which we could have eaten more, but we ate a fair bit. So that was really good. And then the next day, we were gonna try to sync up with that friend again, but he like has an injured foot right now, and so he's like, I don't think I can do any more walking today, so I'll just join you guys for dinner later. So that day we went to, this is now Wednesday, we went to the art museum. So Wednesday and Friday were our days where we didn't have anything pre-planned that we were gonna do. We knew we'd do something, it would probably be Smithsonian, but we didn't know what. We just were like, we'll just figure it out, right?
Wing it.
We'll just wing it. It's all basically in the same place. We could Uber if we needed to. So we went to the art museum, and first off, overall, really interesting experience. Maybe not my favorite thing. It's not like, I don't think I'm suddenly like, whoa, I need to go to every art museum everywhere I go now. But it was pretty cool. The whole first floor was just like all sculptures and like metalwork stuff, like little. I didn't even know this was a thing, but like a lot of artists, I guess, sculptors would make like little medallions, just like as, yeah. So just like, I mean, you can imagine like making a big sculpture, whether it's out of bronze or marble or whatever. It's a material and time.
Test the metal beforehand or something.
I think it was just like in the same way that somebody might make a sketch and then somebody might make a 30-foot by 30-foot painting.
Yeah.
You could like do some sculpting, but you could also do like, I'm going to make a little portrait of a guy on a little like 3-inch by 3-inch metal plate. And so they had a ton of those like medallions.
Oh, that's what I needed right there, the golden stud.
So that was interesting. Not my favorite thing because I didn't recognize like any of the artists except for the name Rodin. Sounded familiar, but I was like never, like I didn't take a single art class after middle school, and even like in middle school, I straight up do not. I know like the big 10 major artist names. But yeah, so that, and then upstairs, I thought the Smithsonian like American Museum would only have American artists, but I was just straight up wrong about that. The more interesting stuff they had was like they had a few Van Goghs, they had a few Monets, they had a few Bingo, Monet, they had a single Da Vinci painting, the only Da Vinci in all of North and South America right now, like on loan or whatever, which the funny thing about that was we get into the room that has it, and like throughout the museum you can't get too close, but surprisingly most paintings are not stored behind glass. Most of the paintings
Just kind of out, right?
They're just on the wall. You can just go look at them. You can't touch them, obviously. You can't get to... I did get, like, hey, back up, you're standing too close, because I was, like, trying to point at some fine detail. But, like, you can just see them. But the Da Vinci was, like, in the middle of this room in a big, giant glass case. And there was a lady up front who was... She was, like, a little shorter than the pedestal. And so she was staring at the painting. She was admiring the art. And then she kept admiring the art for, like, a while. Like, a bunch of people in the room. Everyone's trying to be polite and not crowd around. But this one lady was just staring longingly at the painting for, like, multiple minutes.
For, like, too long?
While there are, like, 20 other people in the room, like, trying to give her space, but also, like, trying to see the painting. And she's, like, standing just off center, just staring at the painting. So, like, I didn't get that great of a look at it.
Wow.
I saw it. It was cool. I was like, maybe she could back up and then, like, come back around when the room calms down, you know? But here, the funny thing was, so we go upstairs, we're looking around, and Jaden's like, well, this gallery is, like, first or whatever, because all the galleries... Also, these places are like a maze. I had no idea. It's just, like, a literal maze of just tons of rooms. Because, of course, that's what you need in an art gallery. Just a bunch of wall space, right? So it's just a bunch of big rooms that are all interconnected. But Jaden was like, well, this is, like, the first gallery, so we'll go through these in order. And it was, like, Italian Renaissance art. Cool. Guess what they were painting in the Italian Renaissance?
Naked people.
No. Nope.
I don't know.
Guess. Italian.
Who's...
What are the Italians like?
I'm gonna go with the church, but I think I know the actual answer.
Yes. No. Church. Right. So, like, what's in Italy?
Oh.
The
damn Pope and the Vatican.
The Vatican. So, apparently during the Italian Renaissance, that was it. That was all they painted was,
It was just the Vatican and the Pope?
No. They painted a lot of, variants of the Nativity. Okay. Variants of Mary holding baby Jesus.
How could there be any variants?
And crucifixion.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And then occasionally like a saint. But like I was losing my mind because we entered the like 10th room in a row where more than half of the paintings in the room were just titled Madonna and Child, which is like Mary and baby Jesus. Mm-hmm. And I'll show a picture here. This is just one of the pictures. And I'm just gonna tell you what, this one I took a picture because it was kind of funny. Because Jesus has a tiny little head in this one for no reason. I thought this one was especially funny, but like, that's it. It was literally just that. Madonna and Child was like fully a third or more of the paintings. And it was some variant of weird-faced Mary with like a face that looks half evil because it's not.
Holy shit. He's like...
It's not represented very well. And then holding baby Jesus. Then there was, quote, the Adoration of the Magi, which is basically like the three wise men coming to visit Jesus in the manger. So just tons of that. And then...
He killed me. What is that guy's gimmick?
Does he just one-shot you?
Yeah, he just one-shots you and heals full health.
Okay. I didn't see...
I don't know what the gimmick is.
How many? Have you only done one boss?
Yeah.
Or have you done two? You've done one. Sick. What's the name of the enemy?
The Cobra. It's like a dual Cobra-like guy.
I don't see anything about that in the guide, so clearly they don't think it should be that hard.
Yeah, I don't know what his gimmick was. Like, I killed 3 of them, but then that one just didn't die.
Yeah, I don't know. But yes, anyway, so like I said, Madonna and Child, the Adoration of the Magi, and then some kind of depiction of the crucifixion was like, between those three, that was like 75% of the paintings. And by the end of it, I was just like,
I
literally told Jaden
ever again.
We were like trying to figure out where to go next, and I just had to be like, Jaden, we got to get out of this exhibit. I'm losing my mind. Like, I stopped carrying multiple rooms back. I want to see something else. I don't care what. I was like, I don't care about the rest of this exhibit at all. I just don't care. Like, you can pick wherever else you want to go, but it can't be here. So then we got into more interesting stuff. There was a really cool section on like the Dutch and Flemish portrait painters. So just like incredible portraits of various rich people, which that room in particular had a bunch of like, that was the one where I literally was like, this feels like the people in these paintings just straight up seem like real people. Like the way that they're depicted, like they're flattering paintings, but these look like real people who I could just like see. Whereas a lot of the other ones are very generic, or they're, or in some way stylized or something like that. But those ones just felt real. I love a good landscape, so all the landscape shit was very cool. And oh yeah, they had like they had a bunch of really incredible still lifes. Yeah, if you want to get into an art museum, just paint Mary and Jesus. That's all you need to do. But like, there's one of the still lifes. That was really cool. Oh, here's another interesting one. And I'd say almost all of these paintings were minimum like 2 to 3 feet by 2 to 4 feet tall. Or whatever at their widest and their tallest.
Oh yeah, see, they went and like killed each other.
Then one of the things that Jaden commented on too is the thing that he said blew him away the most was he always kind of, when he would learn about these paintings in school and you'd see a picture in a textbook, the way that just like the lighting and stuff on the painting, he said he always just kind of thought that was just a trick of how the picture was taken, or like it was, contrast turned up or whatever for the textbook, or something about how it was printed. But he was like, no, these paintings, just the way they capture light is just
completely
incredible.
Different.
It's just incredible. It's just unreal how well they are able to capture that kind of thing. So that was just really, really, really neat. This was probably my favorite painting from the museum. And then I'll post I tried to make sure that for every painting I took a picture of, I took a picture of the little plaque next to each one that said what it was.
People are crazy. Oh, I healed them, son of a bitch.
Well, they're yellow. Did you hit them with lightning?
Yeah, but they're also demons.
Oh.
There is no, lightning. It's just light. Like,
sorry, Blah, I only just saw your comment when you say they're all replicas. What's all replicas?
Most of the paintings.
No, these are all originals. These paintings are the real people.
Usually in a Smithsonian, yeah, that's going to be true.
Yeah, in the Smithsonian, let me tell you what, that Da Vinci sure was with how much security they had on it. And they would not have been so aggressive about telling people not to stand too close to the paintings if these were not.
You guys, we've all seen the protesters going into museums and just fucking ruining paintings, right?
Sometimes they can be pretty easily dealt with. Sometimes they can't. And I don't know if you'd be able to get away with that in the Smithsonian. I think it'd be hard to sneak stuff in.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, this was a Van Gogh they had, which just had not seen before. I have seen Starry Night. I've seen his self-portraits, which they had one as well. But I had not seen this one, which was called Green Wheat Fields. And it's just really pretty. And I'm like, you look at it and you immediately know it's Van Gogh by the style. But like, yeah, I just never knew that painting existed. And it's very, very pretty. And they also had a bunch of Picasso, though I think that was more on the modern art side. But yeah, just stuff I didn't expect to see. So, anyways, that was Wednesday, and then dinner Wednesday night was... We went to... This is the only one I didn't take pictures of myself. Where did we go? We went to a Thai restaurant. It was actually literally right next to the noodle bar, and I had... I think I just straight up had pad Thai. Like, I was like, I could be interesting here, but like, at home when we have Thai, a lot of times I'll get Gaprao, which is one of my favorites. But this time I was like, I'm just gonna get pad Thai this time. Like, that's fine. And it was very, very good. Okay, so then Thursday was Air and Space Museum, but Air and Space Museum is like more than half under renovation right now. And we didn't have our timed entry pass until like 1 p.m. So we had a whole morning to kill. And I was a little bummed that when we did the art museum stuff, they had a whole separate building for the modern art museum. And I was a little bummed we didn't get to see that.
Got one. Jesus.
So I was like, let's spend the morning at the modern art museum and just see what we have time to see. Like, we won't have time for the whole thing, but let's see what there is to see. And so we went into the bottom floor, and they had a textiles exhibit, which was just super weird and cool. Like, they had... Some of it was, like, literal textiles. Some of it was, like, art meant to look like textiles. Some of it was... They had a whole room just of, like, weird baskets. Like, weird weaving stuff that people had done. Like, this one here is, like, baskets made out of, like, metal, almost like a chainmail. Which is just, it was all just very interesting and weird. And it was very cool. And it was just neat. Again, compared to everything we saw in the classical art museum or whatever.
Jesus.
This was just, again, portraits and landscapes, like, this was just very much in the, like, this is just different. There's, like, no rules here. This is just, and some of it, kind of weird. Some of it, you'd be like...
How is this art? But okay.
Not how is it art, but, like, why is that important enough to be here? Like, sometimes I'm like, I wish there was a little more context, because I don't know what that thing, like, in the context of the rest of this room, or in the rest of this wall, you know, the 7 things they have next to each other or whatever, I'm like, I don't understand what that's doing here, and I don't really get it. Like, because, like, that first thing I showed, the gold and black thing, it's very abstract, but it's very pretty. Like, I don't think you can deny that it's very pretty.
Oh no, not these guys.
And, like, things can sometimes be a demonstration of technique instead of, like, sometimes the technique is interesting in and of itself. But yeah, it was just a little, like, it was cool though. But we basically just had time to do that, and then we went to the Air and Space Museum, which, first off, was surprised by how much, like, both in the gift shop and out and about, they had a bunch of Star Wars shit, which makes sense. But, like they had a life-size
Star Wars shit.
No, they just, like, had a life-size X-wing hanging from
the
ceiling.
That's cool.
It was really cool, but you're like, oh, I didn't expect to see that. Like, and the gift shop had tons of Star Wars stuff.
Why is that here?
It's neat though. Like, it makes sense, right? We don't have actual spaceships, and rockets are very big, so this was fun. And it was like by the IMAX, right? But like, hey, like, that's part of it too, is our perceptions of these things, right? So that's, like, also important, just in its own way. The main thing though was that the parts of the exhibit or the museum that were still under renovation was, like, all the military stuff. So there were no, like, fighter jets. Like, they have an SR-71 Blackbird, I know, but, like, that wasn't out. They have like, pretty sure they have Chuck Yeager's playing that used to
but
break
who
the
hasn't
sound barrier.
seen a Blackbird at this point?
There's some stuff where I'm pretty sure the SR-71, they don't have a ton of those in museums. A B-52 maybe, or not a B-2.
Well, isn't there one in there's one in...
Was there one at Omaha?
No, there's not one in Omaha, but there's one here in Kansas.
There might be.
It's in the Cosmosphere, right?
Well, speaking of the Cosmosphere, they had a bunch of stuff that had been restored there. So I was only kind of vaguely aware of this, but Jeff Bezos is a space nerd. That is like common knowledge. That's why he has Blue Spirit or whatever. But he basically, once he had more money than he knew what to do with, he chartered a team basically to locate pieces of the Apollo rockets that had landed in the ocean and like go get them.
Sounds expensive.
Like, yeah, but like they did it, and so they had pieces of the, like, not just like,
I mean, I'd
we
go
have
do
like
it
the
too
lander.
with how much money
Right.
Jeff Bezos would pay me.
Right, like they have the lander and stuff, obviously. The stuff that came, that, you know, they had the people in or whatever. But like, he's like, no, these are like pieces of the rocket that, you know, fall off and go into the ocean. They went and found a few of those. And then they were restored at the Cosmosphere.
We'll start learning how to fucking swim, man.
They had Neil Armstrong's spacesuit from the moon. They had a shit ton of moon rocks. They had... Oh, I took a picture of this one. You'll have to zoom in to read it, but I thought this, like, makes sense why it's here. I'm glad they put it here, but it was a surprise. They had a little thing showing the different versions of the waste collection tools for astronauts.
Oh, the potties.
The potties, so the piss bags and the shit bags.
Yeah.
But they had little pictures of how they worked, and it was like one of them. This is, I guess, we'll just go there a little bit. One of them is just like,
sucks it right out of your butt.
No, one of them was just like a condom that you wore.
That's awesome.
Just piss into a condom, basically. Let's see, what was this one?
Cool.
During the Apollo flights, each astronaut wore a modified condom called a roll-on cuff, and that was it. It was just, yep. They showed the basically like weird plastic diaper that they would use to like pee and shit in, and stuff like that. And they just had a whole little thing. The other funny thing was I went to the bathroom at one point at the Air and Space, and in the bathroom they had a bunch of like fun facts about like space bathroom stuff. About like, you know, like how much poop is left on the moon, and like how astronauts wash their hands when you can't have running water and stuff like that. Which was just funny.
I don't want to go too far into the
Black Omen.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna do it multiple times. You have a grand total of 4 boss fights before we're at the final boss fight, before you fight Zeal. And Zeal has like 3 phases, and then it's Lavos at the end. But if you fight a Lavos spawn, that's the last boss before the final stuff. So if you fight a Lavos spawn, that's when you know you've gone too far. Those are the big little spiky slugs. Okay, let's see what else. They had Wright Brothers stuff. They had the first Wright Brothers plane that they flew at Kitty Hawk. They had a whole thing. They had basically stuff about every single Apollo mission, including Apollo 13.
Oh god, automatic haste is so goddamn good.
It is very good. They had, you remember the scene from the movie?
This is why I think the helms were the wrong choice.
So, from the movie, you remember the thing about the two air filters that were like different shapes or whatever, and they had to figure it out?
Yeah.
That was straight up real. The movie actually did a pretty good job depicting what they look like. And they had, in the museum, they were, I think the originals were real. They had like ones that had been developed for testing. And then they had a model of the mock-up that they used, that you see them make in the movie, and what it looked like. The other fun one was, so in the later missions, they had a moon rover, right? And there was on Apollo, 17, maybe, the last one, one of the astronauts accidentally, so the moon rover had, because it was just a buggy, right? It had little, those, rounded covers that go over the wheel that keep dust and rocks down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He, accidentally snagged his hammer on one of those and ripped it off. And so when they were driving around, they were getting rocks and dust kicked up at them, which is bad. They didn't want to scratch anything or damage anything. And so they basically were like, we need to fix this. And so they talked to Mission Control or whatever, and the solution was they had all the astronauts had little maps that they used to help them navigate if they were a little turned around on where they were supposed to go, little moon maps. And they had them make a new cover by just taping together with duct tape these moon maps to make a little makeshift cover for the wheel. And they had the one, they brought it back with them, and they had that in the museum next to a replica of the moon rover. So that was cool. They had a little thing on all the planets, so that one was geared a little bit more towards kids, just because at a certain point you know all the stuff about the planets, right? Yep, I know about Saturn.
That's a planet.
I know about Mars.
Triple tech. Sweet.
So somebody was still missing a tech then.
Yeah, it looked like it. I don't know who though. Because I thought we had everybody's tech. So. Or maybe it's been a while since I've had these three in the party at the same time.
Maybe.
Okay, hold on. Let's. Yeah. All right, hold on. Final kick is the triple tech. So
I swear it was Marley, but I guess...
Oh, I don't have the triple tech here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that just tells you which ones you don't.
Here. There is no triple tech here, unless you have the item.
May just doesn't have... He only has triple techs with not Chrono.
And I don't have the triple tech here?
I guess. And they all should. Oh. I'm pretty sure Chrono gets triple techs with everybody. I thought.
Is that true?
So, triple techs. There are... So, there's one called 3D Attack. It's Chrono, Frog, and Ayla.
Nope.
Okay, Chrono, Frog, and Ayla should have one. Alright. Next, you should have one with... Oh, and this even has the DS name. Thank you, if it's different. You should have one called Frost Arc, which is Chrono, Marley, and Frog.
Nope.
You should have one called Delta Force, which is Chrono, Marley, and Luca.
Nope.
You should have Delta Storm, which is Chrono, Luca, and Frog.
That would be a negative. What the fuck?
You should have Final Kick, which I guess you just got.
Yeah, I just got that one.
Chrono, Marley, and Ayla. Ring of Fire, which is Chrono, Luca, and Robo.
Nope.
You should have Gatling Kick, which is Chrono, Luca, and Ayla. You should have Lifeline, which is Chrono, Marley, and Robo.
Yep, sure. Just
you should have Triple Raid, which is Chrono, Frog, and Robo.
Triple attack, yeah.
Triple attack. You should have Twister, which is Chrono, Robo, and Ayla.
That would be a negatory.
And then the rock ones are different.
Yeah, I guess I just have to win a battle with him in the party, right?
I guess. I'm gonna look up. It doesn't. This page doesn't actually say how you get them. Maybe you have to use the necessary art, because each one of them requires you to know a certain art on a certain person.
Yeah, I just have to. Yeah, I just have to have them in battle. Okay.
You have to do one battle with each set. Okay, because you have all the text, so you should just have to.
Yeah, now I have all the text.
Okay, all right. So now you just need to do one with each person. Okay. Continuing. So the airspace. Oh, and they had some other like passenger flight stuff. That's one of the things we didn't have time for with our like half day there. And then we did see they had like two different of the they have the giant dome IMAX things, right? The like dome-shaped IMAX screens.
Yeah.
We saw both of their IMAXs, which one of them was just about like what every planet is like, which was cool. But then the other one was like dark matter, dark energy stuff, and like narrated by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Which is
that one was super cool. I kind of mix. I kind of over Neil deGrasse Tyson these days, but it was a much more interesting one than the planets one. But they were both very beautiful to just sit back in your chair and just like stare at the ceiling for a while.
I understand how you can be over him, but also it's nice to have someone who is liked in the masses that people will want to listen to.
Yeah, he's a normie astrophysicist.
Right. For people who want a little bit more, sometimes yeah, I could see how you could kind of be over him.
He's like the guy is the only thing. He's like the only one. Yeah. And I'm sure that I would have felt the same way. Well, maybe not the same way. Bill Nye is sort of a different. But yeah, he's like the main space guy. I guess maybe would I have felt the same way about Carl Sagan back in the day? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But okay, and then so here are the pins I got at Air and Space. They did not get any at the art museum because they didn't really have anything like that. So it was just a planet.
Also, they didn't deserve it.
No, it was very cool. They had this, which wasn't specifically branded as like Leica, but you know, I like it. Then just a little rocket.
Red rocket.
Not a red rocket. And then they had the Artemis pin. The Artemis like mission patch or whatever.
I'm guessing this is also permanent. Oh, this is magic defense.
And then
for magic defense. This is crazy.
They also had, and this one I thought was really cool. They specifically had the mission patches for Apollo 11 and 13, and so I grabbed the Apollo 13 one.
That's pretty cool.
Apollo 11 being the one that landed on the moon. Oh, and then this one was like a different brand, but I also just really liked it. It's a bit smaller, but it's like got clouds or something. I don't know. It was just cool. It was pretty. This one is not focusing.
Oh, let's go. I killed all of those.
Either way.
That was a lot of text that I needed to learn there on that one.
Oh, did you get more than just the one triple?
I got all the doubles and stuff that I've been missing as well.
Okay, and then that night for dinner, we were like, I had told Jane, I was like, we've had Asian food every single night we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have just let's try
some
something
kind of
different.
A burger or something, you know?
Well, the first day for lunch, we went to like a pub brewery kind of situation, but we never really do Italian food.
Ooh, yeah, and it's hard to do like good Italian food that's not fucking Olive Garden.
Right, and so we went to like a nice little local Italian restaurant that was incredible. It was like expensive, and also like sometimes you get your plate of food and the American in me is like, this isn't as much food as the cost, but then it's amazing, and then at the end of the meal I'm not like dying. I'm not like so full that I'm uncomfortable.
I gotta train that out of my brain. And it's a very difficult thing to train out of your brain.
It's hard work. And I had just like a little orchette with broccolini and it was like either pancetta or bacon or some sort of like small amount of meat. I can't remember. Oh no, was it chorizo? Might have been chorizo actually. And then Jaden had a pasta with scallops, shrimp, and swordfish, which he had not had swordfish or scallops before.
Oh, I love scallops. Scallops are so good.
I actually didn't try his because my mother is like super allergic to shellfish, and scallops are the one. Like, if you're allergic to shellfish, scallops are like the worst thing you can have. And I was like, I don't think I'm allergic to shellfish. I've eaten plenty of shrimp in my day, but I don't want to find out on vacation, so I'm just not going to try your food.
Yeah,
that'll be fine.
Good point.
And so we had like bread before the meal, and then we had like we had some little dessert. It was like we had some really good cocktails there too. And then, but yeah, we had what was? Oh no, wait, no, we had dessert there. Was it? I got different stuff. I can't remember what it was now. I think Jaden got some little mousse thing, and I got something. Oh, I got this like apple. It was like a fancy version of like an apple cobbler kind of situation. Okay, and then Friday, the last day that we did anything was. So I had been wanting to get to the National Archives. Because they have the Constitution, the Declaration, some other stuff.
Yeah, you wanna pull a whole national treasure.
I was like, I wanna go see this stuff. And when I was a kid, we did like a really quick tour, and like it's called the Rotunda. It's the big room where they have it all. You just basically walk in a circle, and they have. When I was a kid, they had the Magna Carta, which is really old. They have the Declaration, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. And so I was like, this will take not that long, but every time we would go, there would be like a line to get in, like around the block. And so we had been skipping it because we didn't want to wait. We didn't want to wait in line for a super long time. But I was like, we'll do this first thing in the morning Friday because like we didn't have anything planned for the day. We could afford to stand in line for a little bit, and we'll just see what we see. And if it's ridiculous, then we skip it or whatever. But we wound up doing it, and I was just really surprised. I was really glad we went. So the first thing you see when you go in is they had in like the bottom level or bottom floor where you go in, they had an exhibit that was just called like Power to the People or something like that. And it starts with the Magna Carta, which is from 1297. And it's like there's only a couple copies, and it's one of the oldest documents that talks about just the idea of like what are the natural and unalienable rights of man or whatever, right? It's like the first document of its kind. And then the rest of the thing was just like not every instance, but like basic, lots and lots of instances through American history of like people fighting for rights, winning them, losing them, rights being awarded or violated by the government, all sorts of crazy stuff. And they had documents and pictures and stuff from both sides. So they had, for the Voting Rights Act, they had like a letter from like a union group endorsing the act. And then they also had like a letter from the concerned housewives or the concerned wives of the KKK or whatever. Opposing the act. It was like a group from like Ohio of a bunch of like suburban housewives who were married to men in the KKK, and they were opposed, and they were like writing. They jointly wrote their like senator or whatever, asking him not to pass the bill.
Holy shit!
Which was it was really interesting to see all that stuff. They had a whole section on women's suffrage, and they had a whole section on modern justice stuff, and they had a whole section on Japanese internment, and they had a whole section on slavery and Civil War stuff and Revolutionary War and some stuff about American Indian rights and like Trail of Tears adjacent kind of stuff, and just like everything you can imagine. One really cool moment, though. Oh, and a bunch of immigration laws, because there were immigration quotas in the U.S. for a long time. So, like, one really neat moment was there was a family at one point next to us. I was looking at something, and it was like mom, dad, and kid, and they looked maybe Indian, unsure. But at one point, the mom was like, "Oh, look, honey," like to her kid, like, "This is why our parents came here, is because this law changed. Like, that's why our family's in the country.
Oh, that's kind of wild."
And I was just like, "That's super cool." That was just a cool moment to see, like, to witness.
The American dream, long since dead and forgotten about.
Right. But, like, that was really cool. It was just a really neat, really powerful exhibit with a lot of interesting stuff, and it was neat as, like, the first thing.
What are these things?
Then, then we did the rotunda, which was all the main stuff, which was just a very big room. It was very crowded, but we got to see all the stuff. And then we went downstairs, and I was talking about this in our Skype chat today, but they had the big, like, temporary exhibit that they were advertising on the front of the building. It was called Power and Light, and it was like Russell Lee's coal survey, and it was just like a picture of a miner, and I'm like, okay, interesting, I guess. I was like, and Jaden was like, "Oh, we should go check it out. We're here." And what it basically was like post World War II, Truman was president, and there were a bunch of rail and coal mine strikes, and this was in the prime era of, like, where the mines owned the town and would, like, price gouge to their employees who worked in the mines, who lived in the town, and that kind of situation.
You know, typical, what's the movie with the kids who make the rocket?
October Sky?
Yes. Typical October Sky movie. Because they're a mining town.
No. Yeah, they're a mining town, but that was...
And you had to go in the mines. You had to work in the mines.
I'd have to rewatch that movie. But this was, like, more decrepit. Yeah, people, like, living in houses...
fucked up.
People, like, living in houses built out of, like, newspaper.
Oh, shit.
And stuff like that. And the whole thing was they were striking for better working conditions, wages, etc., lower working hours, all the things that workers strike for.
Yeah.
And the owners, the whole thing was like the union was
rights.
The union was striking, and the mine owners, and, like, there was one particular one who was, like, leading negotiation for, like on the opposite side of the, you know, not there's the union and there was the owners, and that guy just basically was, like, denying everything. To the point that the government, because the government sometimes can get involved and arbitrate, right, for strikes.
Mm-hmm.
It got so bad that Truman and his administration just had to seize the mines. They were just like, "You're not arbitrating in good faith. We've done everything we can."
Had to seize them?
So they're ours now.
That's wild.
Like, they're ours now, and we're going to negotiate with the miners, and we're probably going to give them what they want. Which is wild. Like, that was just insane. I believe you have 2 back-to-back boss fights here. There might be a room or 2 in between, but you got 2 fights. But yes, that was insane. But basically, as part of this, the government sent a few different teams of people to go, like, "Hey, we need you to go survey the conditions that these people are living in," right? Like, because again, this is 1940 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's no internet, there's no people showing this stuff off. So they were like, "We need a bunch of you to go out there, take pictures, talk to people, figure out what's going on, and then come back and write a report," right?
And come back, "Oh shit, everything's on fire, please."
Well, and what happened was basically this one particular guy and his team, which was basically mostly just him, just had there's just a way and a knack that he had for taking pictures and not just capturing. They were, like, good pictures, and they were they captured a lot of the humanity of people, and he was, like, annotating and commenting on tons and tons of the pictures, describing who the people were, getting all their names, telling how much money were they paying for rent, how much money were they making at the mine, how much money were they paying for supplies, where were the kids going to school, what were they living in, what were all the different houses like, taking pictures of, like, the family sitting in the house together, or the mom with the kids, or, like, the widows who are still living because their husbands died in the mine, and like he just took so many pictures, and they were all really incredible pictures that really captured the essence of the people living there. And so they were just these incredible pictures, and the exhibit was basically just, you know, big printouts and copies of all these pictures and his annotations for all of them, and just talking about how things were, and like just like, here's a bunch of the pictures of the kids going to what little schooling they had, and here's a bunch of pictures of people working in the mines or going to work on the mines or on their lunch breaks, or like, this is so-and-so and his family of wife and 3 kids and 1 grandkid, and here they all are at church on Sunday, and blah, 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 right? Like, just incredible pictures. Again, another exhibit I just didn't really know what to think about of, and then was just kind of enthralled. I actually didn't really take many pictures of it, because it would have just been me taking pictures of pictures. But I'll post a link to they have just a few of the pictures on the website, but I'll post it in the stream chat. Genuinely did not expect to think anything of it. And it was just incredible. And he just took, and he was like, and they talk about, he was just like some Midwesterner engineer who took pictures as a hobby. So he was like picked to go do this. And he was just very systematic and thorough, while also taking just incredible photographs and capturing like the daily lives of these people. So definitely recommend just flicking through that website. They have that webpage has basically a selection of some of those photos, and it's just crazy. It's just very interesting. So anyways, that was Archives, and then finally, after that, we went back to the Modern Art Museum to look at a little bit more stuff. They had, this is where we saw a bunch of Picasso stuff. And then they also had, a Jackson Pollock. I think they had a couple Jackson Pollocks, but one in particular. The main one that you probably know if you know Jackson Pollock, which is just called, like, number 1 1950 or whatever, but this painting here, it's just very cool to see up close and really look at, and then just other weird shit. Like, there were just some other really interesting, it's
just a bunch of weird shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, look at,
no, you're right, it's true.
Yeah, like, what's this painting? I don't know. I don't know, but did it post or not? There we go. But like, it's cool and it was really pretty to look at, but like, I don't know what's going on. So that was really neat. And then finally, after we finished that up, we went to the National Museum of the American Indian, which was also, it was incredible, but it also didn't have exactly what we had kind of wanted. I was hoping to learn a little bit more about the cultures, maybe, of different tribes, and seeing the art of different tribes, which they have.
Just learning about them.
Well,
with, like,
no,
they're from X place.
No, they had, number one, they had some art, and they had some artifacts of, like, they had a whole cabinet that was just like daily life and games and stuff, which was cool. And they had some actual art. Like, they had this wicker basket in the shape of a scorpion, which is just cool as shit. They had some artifacts. They had this one, which was like used by apothecaries and pharmacists, and it's like a little picture of all the medicinal plants, and so you can identify them, and like would have been used as a tool to help you remember what all the plants did and were for and stuff. But the main thing, so on the top floor was the big main exhibit, which was an exhibit about basically Americans' relationship with Native Americans, with American Indians through time. And it starts with, like, during the Revolutionary period and colonial period, where relationships were, like, mostly pretty positive. Like, maybe views about the people weren't so great, but like basically there were a lot of mutually respected treaties made. Different communities would get along with their neighbors. Not always, but like kind of for the most part. You know, just like it was like sort of a mostly positive thing where two different groups were just sort of respecting each other, and the exhibit was full of stuff like it would. Here's the negotiators, and here's the whatever, and each one would have like, here's what the colonists' perspective, and here's the American Indian perspective, and here's the negotiator for the Americans, and here's the negotiator for the Indians, and what were they about, and stuff like that. And it was all built on this idea of like two different perspectives. And so you go through that whole room, and it's very cool. And then it has like the idea of what these treaties were about and how they were made. And then you go to the next room, and it's literally like, and now America starts breaking all of their treaties.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, here's all this stuff about forced removal. Here's the Trail of Tears. Here's Andrew Jackson being a dickhead. And here's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just all, and it was literally that whole
every single instance where America backstabbed.
Right. This whole, it's like the maps of where we forced all the people to go to. I didn't know that it was. So it was done by the government. I didn't know that it was so expensive.
Yeah.
Like the money that they paid to make it happen, like adjusted for inflation, is like multiple billions of dollars.
Yes, it was very expensive.
I did not know that. I didn't know that part of the history.
Interesting. Maybe you would, but
no. I mean, if you had asked me, was it expensive or cheap, I would have. But yeah, I just didn't remember that specifically. But there were lots of interesting things, and there was like, there was a whole thing about like a Supreme Court case where there was some like super conservative judge who like looked at this case where a tribe had sued the U.S. basically once the tribes starting getting involved in the American legal system and stuff, and being like, we're going to fight on your terms basically instead of trying to do things our way. And
which
this
worked out great for them.
This like super conservative judge was like looked at this case, and it took him like a year and a half to look at it, and then he was like, nope, the Indians are correct on every single point. Like they win this case, every single argument they make is valid. Yeah, you completely fucked up. You owe them this and that and this and that and this and that.
Yeah, didn't we pay tribes?
This was in 1974. This was actually later, but
right. But I'm saying, didn't we start paying tribes certain money?
I'm sure in general that is.
And there was, if I remember correctly, there was an argument then later on about. I learned this in my American Ethnic Studies class about that specific thing, but then there was later on a discussion about, well, what about we paying African Americans for slavery?
Oh.
And like that whole discussion gets brought up and such, and it's like some people wouldn't want the money because then it pushes under the table what has happened to the people.
Are these the things you should be stealing from to get speed tabs?
Yeah, I already am. Don't worry.
Okay, I haven't been watching too closely.
Yep. I'm already doing it. I'm ahead of you.
Okay. But yeah, so that was. It was just really interesting, and then it ends. The last room of the exhibit is basically like the modern stuff and how things are kind of turning around and attitudes are shifting, and so it was basically like. Basically, the exhibit was like a bunch of bad shit sandwiched by good stuff. So you kind of leave the exhibit on a positive tone. You start the exhibit on a positive tone, but it was, sort of the way
there's the shit in the middle,
right? Which was intense, and it was like very, very explicit and clear, and all that stuff. It was very cool, and like it was good. The other main exhibits were they had an exhibit on just like American Indian iconography and modern life. It was just like
multiple times.
No, I don't think you can.
Because we're obviously not. So.
But this was just like how these motifs and ideas have integrated into American life in a really interesting way. And there was a thing about like there was a little video art thing that was just like a 5-minute video about like what does Thanksgiving mean?
Speed capsule. Shit.
Like what does Thanksgiving mean to this was just like basically one guy being interviewed Oh, make sure you're not maxed out.
That is 3 people's maxed out speed now.
You need to get Robo. He was the one who really needed it.
No, he was actually higher than Marley and Ayla's.
Oh, well then give him more.
Because of his new weapon thing. It boosts his speed a whole bunch. So like, really, Ayla and Marley were the 2 lowest.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Now they're fast. But the thing is, if we go through this again and we find 4 more of these guys, it was 4, 2, 2. So that's 8 additional speed capsules.
These might be the one exception of another thing that doesn't respawn, but I don't know.
Oh, there's 2 more right here, so.
Maybe. Yeah, there you go.
Well, maybe. There might not be. It might just be this idiot thing again. Come on.
Oh, this is the next boss.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Oh, one of those chests is one of the last triple tap rocks. And then the next room is the last boss before you should probably turn around.
Power Crest.
So
I gotta fucking hit this thing with more magic.
So that exhibit... Oh, there was the Thanksgiving thing, which was interesting. It was an interview, and the guy was like, did this dinner happen? Like, yeah, was it notable? Not really. Like, but also, like, things have changed, and he's like, he's like, what do I think about nowadays? And he's like, I'm just happy to be here. Like, I don't think... It was basically, you might expect it to be like a fuck Thanksgiving kind of situation, and it was like, no, I think like it can change, like it can be different now, and I'm happy to participate in it now. Like it's just different now, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. So there was that exhibit, and there were a couple other things. There was like a room about specifically the Battle of Little Bighorn, and there was another room about another little thing. And then the last exhibit was like a bunch of modern art by like a modern artist who made a bunch of art inspired by his heritage from a specific tribe, and it was like mostly abstract art, and it was interesting. But again, it just sort of at the end of it, I was just kind of like, I was sort of with Jane. I was like, it would have been nice to have like, here is the whatever tribe, here's what happened to them, but also like, here's some information about this tribe's culture. I suppose if you extrapolate that to however many tribes there are, that would be too much. And of course, a lot of that was lost due to the genocide or genocide-adjacent things that happened depending on the tribe and all that stuff. So like, it's complicated, but it did feel a little bit like the stuff that we thought was maybe the most interesting was like not the centerpiece of the museum. But like again, that's fine. It was still a great experience. The gift shop was killer. Basically, every single thing in the gift shop was like made by a native group, and like here's the group that made it, here's the artist, and they're part of this tribe or whatever, and they make this art, and blah 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 blah.
That's pretty cool.
So I got more pins. So let me do this so I know I'm in focus. So I got this little guy.
Just a little guy.
Little frog.
A little guy.
And then a whale.
A whale with a tail.
And then a salmon, I believe.
Slalom.
And then a hummingbird. Oh, there we go.
These guys are freaking annoying to fight, man.
I am going to make a pin box of all of this stuff. Probably, we'll see when I have time to put that all together. I have all the supplies, I think. I just need to find an hour or two to make it. Because I don't do anything crazy. I just have a shadow box, and then I put down a layer of foam, and then I super glue a layer of felt to that foam to make it look nice. And then you just stick the pins in the foam. And then you put it in the little shadow box. And I have all this stuff here. I just need to do it. Yes, one of these is, the white gemstone.
Welcome in, Thunder.
Hello. Yeah, it's been, like I said, it had been a minute since I hadn't been to like half these museums. Oh, and then that night for dinner, what was our last dinner? We had
Is there one more boss fight?
The next room is like, this is the point where you should turn around.
Oh, really?
You could do the next boss fight, I believe, the Lavos spawn, and then at that point, if you're gonna go back and do the, like, you can do the Lavos spawn, but that's after you do that fight, you should turn around, and you should definitely save first.
We'll save real quick.
Oh, the last dinner we finally had Indian food.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fucking incredible. So first off, I looked at the restaurant, we picked the place, and the website was like Google was like, reservations required or strongly recommended. And so I was like, well, let me go. We don't have a reservation. Let me go look at the site. And I go look at the site, and I was like, make a reservation. And they were like completely open for the next 2 hours. And it was like a 20-minute walk away. I was like, whatever. Well, perfect. We'll just go. So we walk in. Restaurant's basically empty. There are like 5 or 6 tables of the like 30 or 40 tables that are occupied. So we walk in, and we're like, hey, table for 2. And they're like, do you have a reservation? We're like, no. Do we need one? And they were like, oh gosh, I don't know if we have anything here. I don't know if we have for you guys to have enough time. And it's like, well, yeah, because like if you're before a reservation event, like they have to start.
But I thought you said they were open for the next 2 hours.
Yes, that's what the website indicated. But they were like, gosh, I just don't know. They're like, I just don't know if we can seat you. They're like, you can sit at the bar. You can have full service at the bar, like full food service up there. And we were just like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, I could have literally made a reservation and then walked to the restaurant and then had that reservation, and it probably would have been fine. But they were like, oh gosh, I just don't know if we can fit you guys in.
That's fucking
in an empty restaurant. In an empty restaurant. And when we left, it was notably fuller, but there were still many empty tables that had not been filled since we got there. So like, that was just, we were just mostly just funny. But we were just talking about it. But yeah, and honestly though, sitting at the bar with the bartenders chit-chatting and being super nice was honestly more fun than sitting at a table anyways. Yeah, exactly. And they didn't, it's not even like, it was wild. It was just insane to me.
Alright, I killed the boss.
Alright, turn around and leave.
That only took 2 hours.
But the food was incredible. The head chef was like at the bar making drinks for people.
What?
Yeah, he was just like, there were 2 bartenders, and then the head chef was also there making drinks.
What the fuck? That's awesome.
He was super nice. He was super fun to talk to. One of the things is they made an old-fashioned, but they made the simple syrup with like an Indian block sugar. Like, have you ever seen have you ever seen those like big blocks of cane sugar or whatever?
Yeah.
It was just like, there's an Indian version of that has some spices in it, and it's just a big block of sugar with specific spices, and that was how they made the simple syrup for the old-fashioned. So it was super good. They had there was like a gin drink where I was like, oh, do you think this would go good with my food? And he's like, oh, we have that on tap. Let me just get you a little sample of it. And then I made a comment about the old-fashioned. I was like, I make mean old-fashions at home, so I was really interested to try your guys's. And he's like, oh yeah, we make the syrup out of whatever. And then he went and got like a little taster and then poured just the syrup so I could just try that by itself. So just like super fun. Like, I wouldn't have gotten that at the table,
That's true. You probably wouldn't have.
So that was super cool. And the food was incredible. I got chicken korma, korma's like it's the one that's like a pistachio curry. And it was incredible. Excuse me. And then Jaden got, I can't remember. Whatever he got was like super smoky. It was very good. Those guys also give you magic capsules?
Yeah, they do.
Holy shit! And they're respawning, at least for now.
No, these ones I haven't fought before.
Okay. But yeah, and then after that we went to.
magic attack makes them not counter me?
We had been told to try a local ice cream place.
Ooh, okay.
Called Jenny's Amazing Ice Cream, or Jenny's something ice cream. And it was very good. Think if you've had around here, there's like Silas and Maddie's.
Yeah, it's
like,
in Lawrence.
Kind of similar vibe of just like kind of weird flavors.
My wife loves that place.
Like I got a brown butter pecan something, and
Chris
then like
and his wife really like that place too.
And then like an almond butter or like an almond brittle something, and then one that was just called like Super Moon, which was described as being like cereal milk, which it kind of was. And then Jaden got a jelly donut ice cream.
I'm fucking what?
Jelly donut, which literally I was just like, I think they just took vanilla ice cream and blended it's just a straight up jelly donut into this ice cream, and it's incredible. Like it just tastes exactly
cool
like that.
As hell.
And then he also got like, it was like peanut butter chocolate chip or something like that. And then I can't remember what his last one was. I think it was some kind of cake.
So did I explain what when we went to Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals? Did I ever tell the story of the gelato that we had?
I gotta stand up, but I'm taking my headset.
There was a gelato place just in this, because this where Raleigh is based. It's a college town, and so there's like the Aggieville or the Mass Street or whatever that we walked down. There's this gelato place, and Chris got vanilla ice cream, vanilla gelato. It's not ice cream, it's gelato. Gelato on a warmed potato bun.
Oh,
and he said it was so good.
That sounds incredible.
I'm like, this is the simplest shit.
Yeah.
But this sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. Oh. Oh yeah. This was, our friend had been telling us, and we were like, we were like, it's Friday, we have to do this tonight. So we like picked that Indian restaurant because it was on the way to the ice cream place. Oh. And then my last picture I'll share is I took a picture from the plane where you can see the thing where the river opening into a bigger body of water.
Yeah.
How the water looks. It was cool.
Did you fly Southwest?
We did fly Southwest.
Because the Boeing shit is wild right now.
Well, Boeing is a brand of airplane, not a brand of...
Well, I know, but every other
Boeing, probably.
You did. You flew 737.
737, I think every single plane was 737, which is not the one that's been questioned. Yes, that was like a 757, I thought.
No, it's 737.
No, 757 Max, right? 737 Max. Specifically 737 Max. This was just labeled as 737.
Yes, so as I'm able to talk now, thank you.
Yeah, so
the 737 Max is owned by like Delta and American Airlines. The airline who doesn't own a 737 Max is Southwest. And there's been a lot of controversy around Boeing right now on some people don't want to fly if it's a Boeing plane and would rather fly in an Airbus.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say I blame them.
Yeah, I've been seeing stuff where some travel websites have integrated stuff where you can exclude flights by plane, basically.
But that's why I like to fly Southwest, because they always have a 737. Just a regular, bog standard, old ass 737.
Yeah, the 737s are not new.
The original 737s are fine. It's the Maxes and then the other one. I thought there was another one that was a problem.
There might be.
But the first it was like the fucking landing gear, and now it's the door that blows out. It's like, Jesus Christ, Boeing, what are you doing? But you have no competition, so it doesn't matter. You have Airbus, who kind of makes planes a little bit, and then you have, everyone has a fucking Boeing. It's like, what do you do? Escape!
Let's see, the, there was one other, So we played a bunch of Pokemon Go on the trip. Number one, didn't know Washington D.C. has Bouffalant, a Pokemon that you can't get
Bouffalant
in KC, or in Kansas in general, which I just didn't know. So it was cool. Right. But the other funny bit was we had on our flight to DC.
Now we go to the Middle Ages.
On our flight to DC, we had a direct flight, but on the return flight, we just couldn't find a direct flight that had good timing. It was either super early or super late. So we did a one layover. Now our layover was in Tampa Bay because sometimes that happens when you fly places, right? You have to go somewhere completely random and then get to where you're going, right? But the funny thing was, I was like, I don't know if Tampa is far enough south in Florida. It sure would be cool if I could catch a Carnivine, which is another Pokemon Go one that's only in the Gulf of Mexico and in South America. And sure enough, for the 1 hour that we were in Tampa Bay, in just the airport, I managed, one showed up and I was able to catch it, which was just super cool. I was like, that's...
Oh shit, we have post-game to do.
What do you mean? Other endings?
We have the DS stuff.
Oh, we do have the DS stuff, which I don't know what the deal is with that stuff.
Oh, either.
This says... This says,
Don't worry about it is what it says, watch.
One of them is apparently, kind of tedious.
Oh.
So one of them is just annoying, but the rewards are all very good.
Really?
Basically, it says one of them is kind of interesting, one of them a little less interesting. You'll be doing some repeat battles over and over. So, I would say we do it.
Might as well.
Well, we should do it, but, we could do it.
Oh, we can't refight the panels.
I thought they might, because they're tabs.
Oh, well then, this really isn't worth a damn. I mean, I guess I can get some magic capsules, some magic tabs, potentially.
Yeah.
Kill this thing.
I'm looking at... when the best time to do this. There's a bunch of people complaining online, but they all sound like normal people that complain online, which I'm often inclined not to believe.
You don't know who's telling the truth, because
I believe it kind of, but also I'm sure it's fine, I think it's a lot of bitching and moaning.
It'll probably be. Can you fucking not take all of my health?
I would say if you want to, we could do that after we beat the story if we start messing with alternate endings or something. But if you would like to do it, if you would like to do it next week before we do the final boss, that would also be fine. We probably could knock them both out in one episode. I think for sure if we started it tonight.
We'll see. We'll see where our heart takes us,
Yeah. Seems like it's questionably worth it.
I'm a sleepy boy, that's for damn sure.
I get you. It was one of the truly nice things about the vacation was, number one, because we were an hour ahead, we could sleep pretty naturally and still not wake up too late into the day.
Yeah.
And also, it was just the first time in a really long time where we just were able to truly wake up on our own schedule, because even during the week, we pretty much always get woken up by our alarms.
Or
and during,
or whatever.
well, and during, on the weekend, it's the dogs. So we still do our best to get a good amount of sleep, but on this vacation, even though the bed was kind of shitty, and so we weren't sleeping great.
Really? The hotel bed was kind of butt?
They always are.
Really? I have no issue sleeping in a hotel bed for the most part.
This one, it was stiff, and the room didn't stay cold as we would have liked. Wasn't bad. We just weren't, not that I ever sleep 100% through the night, but
so I'm gonna be honest, if the things don't respawn, if the tab things don't respawn, I'm not entirely sure what's useful of going through here.
It's just experience, really.
But you can just run back through, everything spawning again.
I guess?
Maybe in the original it didn't?
Maybe. Yeah, because I am using a mix of guides that are like old and new,
It's kind of like, why, if it's just this specifically, what does it matter to it? If it's experience, well, everything was respawning as I was walking through anyway.
Yeah, what does this say?
It'd be really funny if Lavos is easier the earlier you go, because he hasn't had time to absorb planet juice.
Oh, it seems like... So I had you turn around before you fight Zeal, which is a 3-phase fight, but technically not the last fight. It does seem like you can do the Zeal fight. Not 3 times, but 2 times?
Oh, is that what they want? Is you want to do the Zeal fight twice?
I guess you can do the Zeal fight, which is 3 phases, and like...
But what is the benefit of doing it?
Just experience, I think. And then I guess you could charm some stuff multiple times, but we're basically done, right?
I mean, it would take a lot of grinding just to get up to max level.
Max level's 99. You're not.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting to 99.
I don't know where the best farming spot is in this game to grind. I think it's here.
I think so as well.
Because everything's giving you like 2,000 experience.
Yeah, sadly, that's one thing. If I'm reading it right, the Zeal... Actually, no, the Zeal fight is labeled as not giving you any XP. I don't know if that's true or not. You can get charmables. They do have, like, stuff. But I don't know if it's worth it.
Oh, dang. He hides again.
But it's worth noting that Zeal plus the final bosses, you have 7 battles. Zeal has 3 and Lavos has 4. So, like...
I remember the final battle being a slog.
They all take a really long time. And the final battle has, like, bits that revive themselves. So... I would hesitate to recommend that we try to do it tonight. Especially if you are indeed a sleepy boy.
I am a sleepy boy.
I would say next time, if you want to do the...
I can get to the room before.
Basically, if you want to just go ahead and end the game, we could do that. And then, but if you would rather do the Lost Sanctum, the DS dungeons, we can also do that.
I don't know if I'll have time. I mean, it's 9:30 already. I'll just
No, I meant next week.
Oh.
Like, which of those two you want to do?
We'll do the final boss first, and then we'll do because we'll be right in front of the final boss.
Yeah. You know what crazy thing I've been feeling the last week or so?
What?
I just see so much about it on Twitter.
Uh-oh. What do you
I kind of want to start from scratch.
Okay. Persona 5.
No, I already mentioned that one. No Man's Sky.
Oh my lord. Did you see the new update again?
I saw!
They just did a new update?
And I saw the funny tweet was, Sean, no, please, we have money. We forgave you 10 updates ago.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to keep doing this. You can just work on your next game. And like...
The one with the dragons.
Yeah, this one, apparently this patch, the biggest thing was they made space stations also procedural and based on different species. Like, the different species will have different space stations.
Holy shit.
In addition to, like, you can have frigates, and you can join guilds, and you can send your ships on missions, and you can do
good for them, though,
and also there's like town building and sandworms, and there's fucking you can I'm pretty sure you can just straight up multiplayer now.
Yeah.
I believe you can just straight up be like, I'm going to play with
that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's like, I want to play with so and so, and it's like, cool, you're now next to them.
Because we tried it, and then my game kept fucking crashing.
And you can do ship customization now. You used to have to buy, like, you could get new ships, and ships were procedural, but they were bought as a unit.
I mean, but it sounds like the game we were all promised.
Yeah. But yes, now you can find ship parts and customize a ship that you really like, instead of just buying and replacing every time you find a new one that you like. Or just have it, I think you can have multiple ships. But like, yeah, you can basically be like, ooh, I found this part. You find a crash ship, and you can scavenge a part from it, and then use that to enhance or modify a ship. And so yeah, there's a part of me that just says, fucking, I played this game day one. I took time off work to play this game. It was fun. I played it for a solid couple weeks with you.
Yeah, we played it for a while.
And then we stopped after not that long.
Monster Hunter came out.
Yep. And so we stopped playing it, but like now it's just a different game, but I still own it. I could just put it in my PS5 and play it. Like
Well, do it. Might as well. What do you have to lose?
Well, I do have other stuff. Well, number one, I'd like to play multiplayer with somebody.
What else do you have to?
I'm actually genuinely getting close to finishing my Xenoblade 3 like 100% replay.
Oh, and like in a month you have Thousand Year Door.
Thousand Year Door comes out in May. But yeah, so Xenoblade 3, my initial plan was to replay the DLC as well. It's a lot shorter than the base game, though it's still pretty long. I haven't decided yet. I'm probably going to pick up my Dark Urge run back up in Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah, you kind of dropped it.
Because I dropped it because I was trying to wait for them to fix a thing, and I think I'm just going to have to commit to not having that. Sounds like it just isn't worth it at the moment, so I probably just won't do it, but I don't know for sure. Just haven't decided yet. But yeah, Thousand Year Door, and like right now I'm also playing Raft with some friends online a couple of times a week. 2 different friend groups I'm playing Raft with, so I have a lot of stuff going on. So that's why the other reason I haven't really been focusing on Baldur's Gate was because I'm like, well, Xenoblade I'm playing. I've been playing that whenever Jaden is playing Rebirth on the TV. I just play it in local because I'm just doing like side quests and stuff right now. So I just sit there and I'm like, oh, I gotta go grind out this, or I gotta go, I need to go find some parts from farm some enemy, or do tedious side quests where it's just like go talk to these people a bunch. I'm doing that kind of stuff. That's been good to like, I can watch Jaden play Rebirth. And then
directly after Zeal, I can go back, right?
After Zeal, can you go back? This says you do all 3 Zeal fights back to back. And then okay. This is confusing because this guide tries to capture the different ways you can get to the end.
Well, it's either we stop now.
Oh,
or
okay, so
we fight Zeal.
it does seem like you can beat Zeal. You destroy the Black Omen and you defeat Zeal.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
There's
some
more
panels.
Okay. I want to max out Magus' fucking speed. His speed is so slow.
Yes. It appears that... Also, so you may not actually have 4 boss phases for Lavos, because it depends on a couple of the specific ways you get to Lavos.
I thought it also depended on what time you get to him. What, where you are in time to do it, but I don't know if I remember right.
Yeah.
Oh, if you fight him in 1,000, or if you fight him in 1,000 versus 600 versus
I don't
12,000.
think there's anything there. There is one if you go through the bucket versus if you go to 1999 via the Epoch. Those are different. Slightly. You can potentially skip a phase. But one of those involves crashing the Epoch. And that changes the ending. If you want the Epoch, you need to not crash the Epoch.
Yeah, we're never crashing it.
Yeah, there's a version of it where in the end credits, it's instead of you, spoilers, flying around through time and seeing all your old buds again, you just don't do that because the Epoch is gone. So like,
you're just fucking stuck.
Yep. So you don't want to do that.
There should be 5 speed capsules, by the way.
Oh, is there a 5th panel? Or is the big middle thing?
Center.
Oh, wow. Yeah, max everybody's speed. Then you don't even really need haste that much, though. It just makes haste better.
That's not true. Haste is insane. I got this one over here.
But yeah, no. So, gaming stuff. I do kind of want to play No Man's Sky again. At the moment, like I said, Jaden's doing Rebirth, so he's got the TV, and I'm playing Xenoblade handheld while he's doing that. Then I'm playing Raft once or twice a week, depending on the week. And depending on if I want to play the Xenoblade 3 DLC again, which is really good. But I'm not sure I want to. I haven't decided yet. I also could take a break, right? I could always play it later. It's not like it's going anywhere.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sniffly. I'm annoyed about going to bed.
I want...
with my snifflies.
I want a Dragon Quest 8. I want to play that game again. What up, Queen?
Ugh. If this is something I caught, it's so annoying. It's just not even, not even that bad. It's just fucking runny nose and sneezing, which is probably just allergies. But either way, it's infuriating. It's just nothing. It's just like, I just can't stop. Ugh. I don't even know if the Allegra helped. I think maybe it did. I'm gonna go do some Flonase real fast so that when I go to bed, I'm not... Hopefully I can breathe better. Ugh. Ugh.
Let's see if I can charm her. Mega Elixir, pretty good.
She should have 2 of those.
2 Mega Elixirs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you need them.
This bitch wealthy.
Ugh. My nose may have been too snotty, too. I don't even know if the Flonase is going to be able to do its job.
Oops, I attack. Shit. Alright.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, God. Sorry about that.
Christ.
I opened up the Patreon app to check something.
Oh, I need to catch up on Dungeons and Daddy.
Well, that's what I'm...
One episode behind.
Okay.
What is happening?
The episode...
Is it the thing that Anthony did?
This week's episode is the finale.
Oh, so that's where we're at. Interesting. So I wonder what I wonder what they're doing next.
I assume they'll talk about a season 3. The last one, it was pretty obvious when they were getting close to the finale. This one, it was like it'll happen whenever it happens.
I think it took a turn with the episode that I've recently listened to.
I guess we only have the last one left.
Does an episode come out tomorrow?
Well, last week's, they said Tuesday, so one came out last week, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was like a week. They must have skipped an extra week. There was one on March 12th. And then one came out last week while we were on vacation. So no, there would not be an episode. We were thinking we were going to listen to one this week to catch up on last week's, and then we were going to listen to one next week. But,
Oh, shit. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, nice. If there's one minor bummer about this game is that the music is incredible, but there's only there's boss music theme, you know? I think
that's how old games were.
They were, yeah, there's here's fight music, here's boss music. Which nowadays it's here's this character's theme, that character's theme. And a lot of different
was also back then there's also the main boss theme. There's boss theme, main boss theme, battle music. And those were the three things that you got.
Yep. Yeah, this one. Yeah, old game soundtracks would be it's 30 minutes of music tops.
The Mammon Machine. The Memory Man.
So, okay, so you just did Mammon Machine, that's phase 2. Phase 3, you want to charm the left and the right. Namely, the left. Oh, not this, you're still going.
Yup.
This one's just, I don't even think there's anything particularly crazy, you just...
Maybe just a Mega Elixir.
Yeah, you just keep whacking it until it's dead.
Okay, charm the Mega Elixir out of it.
Yes, that's another, yeah, you're right. That's all this one has.
Basically, just make it so that it has no attack. It just has nothing but defense. Yay! I killed it! It's dead now!
It is time.
Oh, falling into an abyss. Bye, everyone. We're falling down. Now for the actual mammoth machine. This thing's creepy. I like how we're all just casually like, "What's up?"
We're in space.
You maggots. She got some hands. Look at them hands. Hey, girl, what them hands do?
And those are what you need to charm from if you're going to do it.
There's Manic Helm. Hey,
There
look.
you go.
You can steal them, too.
Oh, wait. That was the left hand. Oh, no, that was the right. Sorry, you need to do the left hand.
Yeah, but I gotta do both.
Well, yes, but... By the way,
I gotta hit that one with magic.
for the record, the Mammoth Machine had 18,000 health. All three of these elements have more health than that.
Oh, this is gonna be a long fight, huh?
Yeah, so... Hurry up.
Basically. Why can't I fucking do it? Oh, I have no fucking mana? Damn.
Oh, did you actually run out of mana? Yeah,
She saps my mana.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, use those Mega Elixirs. When else are you gonna use them?
Oh, Turbo Ethers that I bought.
Also useful. That's one of the things I really liked about in Octopath. They give you an extremely, especially in Octopath 2, but...
what the hell? Okay, there we go. I was like, wait, what? I'm stupid.
In 1 and 2, they give you an extremely limited number of, like, cure-all items that you can technically get more than
the dress!
one of.
Yay, the dress!
Yes, yes.
Finally.
They give you... They're, like there's the equivalent of like Phoenix Down and then like better Phoenix Down or whatever, right? Where it revives you with more health, or like they have a bunch of different variants of all this.
Right. Do
I
just fucking hit the face?
No, you have to kill all three of them. Let me double check. I could be wrong on that.
I'm fucking...
Oh, apparently if Magus is here, it plays Magus's battle music instead.
I'm doing no damage to this thing. Yeah, I don't do any damage to the face, and it counters with the arms, and it counters with an ability.
Oh no, you just need to hit the heads.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sorry, the head is basically it.
There is no reason to do anything else. Yeah, I'm gonna probably die here.
But anyways, one of the things I like about Octopath 2 specifically is they give you an extremely small amount of these, like, basically, like, revives your entire team to full health, max mana, like, but they give you, like, 2 or 3 of them the whole game. So they're, unlike most games where you're hoarding items that you're never gonna, or that you have way too many of, they make these 2 items, like, incredibly precious. And you're like, I don't know if it's ever, like, when's the time. It basically makes it feel that if you can save them for the super boss, it makes it really worth it, because the super boss is fucking hard. It's insane. So, yeah, having those, it's like, it's the, oh shit, like, I lost my momentum, I need to figure this out immediately, right?
We're gonna die.
No triple tech?
No, because it'll hit the arms.
They're done? Oh, okay.
About season 2, I don't remember them dealing with Willy, I guess.
No, there's one more this week.
Oh.
We have one more. Yeah, sorry. Not all the triple techs are AoE.
That's true.
So I don't know what this one is. You got Marley,
it's not.
Ayla,
It is
Chrono?
it's just a single attack. Thank God.
Okay.
4,000 damage is pretty good.
Yeah. Seems like it's better than separate stuff.
Oh, shit.
Where is it? Is it the first one? Or is that crazy? Marley, Ayla. Yeah, final kick. Also doesn't use all that much mana, really. 8, 8, and 20.
I still don't know if it's worth it. I think I can still get more attacks in per... Man, I don't know, maybe.
I think it's not. I think the triple techs are designed to almost always be better. Not necessarily by a lot. That said, the versatility of being able to do different things that aren't attacks. But if you're just having all three people cast attacking stuff, then I think the triple tech's better.
Oh, we beat it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Never mind.
Is there a fourth form? Or is it 3 form?
No, that was the last one. Now it's Lavos time. The Black Omen is destroyed, and then you're gonna go back to the end of time, and then it'll be, in theory, it's time to go do Lavos. One of the handful of ways you can get to him.
Mm-hmm. Alright, since you could obtain the dress later on, having the helms early, probably fine.
Yeah, my main beef with the dress is that the suits giving you all sorts of different reflect is just really useful, and many times it feels like you're going to want that instead.
Oh, like absorb and all that shit?
Yeah, that feels like most of the time it would be the useful thing to do. Oh, right. Do we just do this right now? I specifically thought it would kick us back to... No, okay, you have to do this one now. Okay.
This small one now, right?
Yeah, this is the one where you do all the boss refights.
This should be fairly simple, though.
So he's got 9 sub-phases. So this one is the dragon robot. Nothing special, you just need to break all 3 pieces. And I believe each one of these refights, they have the health of the boss.
Yeah.
Which is why you just immediately finish that one. So now you're on phase 2.
Alright, also gotta hit those 2 little guys first.
Or the center, either one.
No, because he counters if you don't.
Oh, I mean, fair, I guess. But the center probably doesn't actually have that much health, because it's just the boss. It's still just boss 2.
Yeah, but it's more so about the animation time.
Oh, fair. Okay, I get you.
Because if I can just kill one and it can't counterattack me anymore, then like, yes please.
Was it even doing damage to you though?
No, but the animation takes for fucking ever. This is just straight fight. This is just attack it a whole bunch.
Magic only. Hecarim was...
Well, he was weak to light.
Yes.
I think I have this magic caster in my party right now.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Next one.
Zombor.
Smack it a whole bunch.
Yep, this one is just, it absorbs a couple of specific elements, but if you're just gonna whack it, then just whack it.
Boink. 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 That stole all my fucking MP from me.
Oof. Oh, okay. Oh, that was like a... Okay, oh, Masamune.
Ether. Oh.
Oh, do you get to use, before each battle, do you get to use items?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's nice. Okay. This one should be easy.
No, it's just smack it to the guys.
Yeah, it says there's a specific thing to do if he stores wind energy, but yeah, you've got him before he's done that. Okay, Nizbel. This is the one, he's like hit him with lightning, and then he gets weak.
And then he discharge it after. Hit it quickly.
But you're so fast that you might just be able to whack it before it's...
Yeah, I'm hoping if I can just kill it. Yep. Okay, kill it in one
Okay.
rotation, which is good.
Okay, next is Magus.
You just smack him.
But also you can hit him magically with whatever element he cast last. And also this is the one where if we had the Masamune,
Oh yeah, the barrier change.
and then this is the one where if you had the Masamune, you can like weaken him. You might just be able to whack him anyways, it's up to you. He's clearly not doing any damage to you, right? Like it's annoying, but he's doing like 10 damage.
If I just speed it up.
Yeah.
Oh, slowly but surely he'll die. How's everybody doing? I didn't know there'd be 9 phases of this.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot.
Okay.
There we go. Got him.
Alright. Now is Azala Black Tyranno.
Yeah, I still have to hit it with thunder, don't I?
You need to defeat Azala first, though.
The little one?
Yeah. I think you have to.
I thought I had to hit the big guy first and then it.
No, you defeated Azala first when we did it the first time.
Only hitting it with like lightning is just the way to go.
Yeah. Nice. Crit.
Yay. Nice.
Now, Thunder, I think? Maybe?
Something.
Because whatever you're doing isn't working.
Ooh. Yep. time, and then smack it a bunch. And it has a countdown to its quick attack.
Yep.
So we're doing like pretty good damage.
Okay, last one, which is Giga Gaia. This one that says you will also have to destroy the side pieces again.
Typical, typical. Oops. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let's see if they put out a. It is April Fool's Day, and Fire Emblem Heroes usually puts out a little April Fool's Day video, but they may not do it until
Dragon Ball did
like 11 tonight.
Dragon Ball did a joke where the new game mode is you get to build your own city.
And then destroy it.
No, it just turned into a SimCity game.
Oh, that's funny.
It's really great. But some of the ideas are really fun. Like one of them was like you turn into a fishing game. I'm like, oh, I'd play Goku fishing. Why not?
The apparently Honkai put out a funny video. Jaden was watching it. I didn't see. He's been getting really into Honkai. He's really liking it.
Star Rail?
Yeah.
The grind, man. The grind is rough. Game is fun. The grind is rough.
He's been liking it, at least so far. Okay, one more, and then we're able to save.
I just smack him a bunch.
This one is you just hit him a bunch, and this should also be pretty easy.
Chrono getting in there, dog.
Yeah, you'll be done in seconds.
Does he have low HP?
10,000, which you're definitely already more than halfway through.
With Chrono doing 1,000 a swing.
Yeah. And like he's doing damage to you, but not enough to be a problem. Not fast enough to be a problem. Okay, now you warp. It puts you in the end of time. Now you save.
There's a safe spot right.
Yes. Oh, sorry. That portal leads you to the end of time. But yes, you can save right here.
Dream's End.
Yep.
Where you'll catch us next time on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, sorry. I feel like I need to sneeze.
Hopefully next week, Joe will be less sick. Or he won't.
Yeah, hopefully. Because like it's a...
Who's to say?
Caesar don't. It's just not happening.
And with that, we'll see you
start
next
the next
Tuesday.
episode with going...
Deuces.
Alright, bye guys.